How many times do you think you can win a no movement challenge in Brotato within only 100 runs? 5? 10? 0 times? Well, let me tell you, after many hours and many failed runs, I was starting to think it was the latter. I mean, Brotato literally was made for players to run around as a potato, blowing up aliens. So, how do we plan on completing this seemingly impossible challenge, you might ask? By picking Soldier, of course. And off we go on our first attempt. If you've watched my last video on passive run ideas, I went over how the Soldier had the best kit for this type of challenge. The 200% pickup range is probably the best aspect of this potato, but the extra damage and attack speed while standing still go a long way as well. Pair that up with the already fast SMGs, and this seems to be the ideal strategy to complete this challenge. In the starting runs, I kept things pretty simple. Get some luck in harvesting early on, and to only get weapons in the first few shops. One early game item that I found particularly important to save was the beanie. Not for the speed increase, but actually for the -6 range. You see, the more range you have, the further away you can shoot. But defeating enemies that are further away can actually be problematic because their XP drops out of our pickup range. And since we're using guns in these runs, our range gets high pretty quickly. We do figure out a workaround for this in the future, but for now, we're picking up all the guns we can find. And so far so good. Most waves go by pretty easily. I mean, a few too many XP drops falling outside of our range, but not too much to worry about. Until of course we hit wave 8. This wave became my waking nightmare. Over 40% of my attempts got wasted just on this wave. My 26th to 41st runs literally all ended on wave 8. Except for run 29. We don't talk about run 29. Anyways, by this point we've learned a few tricks. First, getting Chameleon before wave 8 almost guarantees getting to wave 20. Second, Alien Tongue and Little Frog are OP in this challenge. The more the merrier. But those aren't going to be enough. Maybe there is something that will be, but I'll get to that in a minute. First, run 46 was pretty successful. And not wanting to lose another run, we tried mixing things up a little bit. We were going to try for the hybrid run again. If you don't know what that is, it's all in the 5 passive run ideas video that I made. Make sure to go check it out. Just for context though, we sell all our weapons and try outrunning the boss in wave 20. So we lock in. This is it. We have speed, we're dodging well, we're getting hit, and we're going down. At this point, morale is low. Trying to think outside the box and used ult for a couple of rounds, and that didn't go well. But something inside was telling me there has got to be a way. There needs to be an item that is available that can get the job done. And that's when it hit me. There is one. One T4 item that might just crack this challenge wide open. The Giant's Belt. With high enough crit chance and attack speed, this item can potentially mow down the final boss before he even gets close. Now we just need to find it. The next 30 or so runs were spent perfecting the early game build, getting to wave 20, and refreshing the shop in hopes that we find the Giant's Belt. We're here. Run 100. Our final chance to complete the challenge. By this point, we've learned that going for DPS in the early game makes wave 8 a lot easier to handle. We also learned not to splurge too much in the shop until we get our economy up and running. So we only lock in essential items that give pickup range or negative range items. Getting more SMGs is crucial as well in the early shops, but we need to keep our range under a maximum of 20. So before moving on to a new wave, we need to combine our guns in order to make sure that it's not over that cap. Wave 4 can be a tricky one since it's the first time that we see the ranged aliens, but this time it's no sweat. In this type of challenge, the shops are really what makes or breaks a run. Knowing what items are worth getting and when can really affect your chances. Level ups on the other hand are a little more forgiving. There are plenty of options that work really well with this build. Range damage with a little regen or lifesteal are crucial before wave 8. And harvesting is still really good early on in the game to get our economy up and running. Coming up on wave 8, I'm feeling pretty confident. We do grab +9 max HP just in case though. And we get a really good shop as well. Getting ourselves an alien tongue and filling out our weapons with the final 2 SMGs. And our range is still under the ceiling of 20 after picking up lots of negative ranged items. Making wave 8 a breeze. The next few waves go by smoothly. We get ourselves a tower grade for the added survivability, and a little frog to keep us getting some XP. We then get to wave 11, the second biggest run ender with about 10% of all failed runs being on this wave. The ranged attacks hit hard, but we recover from them fast enough to not have to worry about it too much. The rest of the waves are walk in the park. Not a real walk in the park though, this is a no movement challenge after all. We get a barricade for added armor while we're standing still from the wave 11 shop. A lucky charm from the wave 14 shop. Probably the only item we'll take with negative range damage. In the wave 17 shop, we come across 2 T4 items on the same page, but still no giant's belt. Now we're clearing up wave 19 and still we don't have the one item that we need. And then I thought to myself, wasn't there a small exploit to refresh the shop without using any money? Ah, yes. Hard resetting the game after doing a refresh. Look at that! Like nothing happened.
2 hours later.
At this point, I'm thinking the item doesn't even roll in the shop for the soldier. Too many conspiracies are running through my head, and then... there she is! The giant's belt. My heart starts pounding. What if this doesn't even work? So many runs, so many hours, so many strategies for this? Crap. We're on endless. We're not in the clear yet. We did it! We finished what felt like the longest minute in the entire challenge. And in doing so, completed an entire run without moving. With some help from a very useful exploit, of course. We later make it to wave 30, where 3 bosses come at you at once, and well, that's game over for this potato. So, how many times can we win the no movement challenge in 100 runs? I'd say probably once if you're lucky. Why not give it a shot yourself? Come back to the vid when you do and let me know how you did in the comments. Or, check out this video and see what other challenges you can try.